I love the running backs too. I mean, you already had Travion Henderson. You bring in Quinshon Judkins, one of the best players out of the portal. I don't think there's a better running back duo anywhere in the country. So you have that as well, which is just such a luxury for Will Howard, who, he comes in here and really what he needs to do is be better than Kyle McCord was last year, because Kyle McCord was really good across the board, except when they absolutely needed him to be great, to beat Michigan, to beat like that caliber team. And here is Will Howard going to have that opportunity to do that. Dillon Gabriel on the other side, we've talked about the interceptions he's thrown. That's someone who I thought going into the season was going to be leading the Heisman Trophy race, was going to be the kind of player who could go out and win Oregon some games. I've been talking to coaches who played both of these teams over the course of the last week. And one thing that was really interesting when talking to coaches about Gabriel is they were just talking about how he's not running much this year. He used to kind of be that guy who would do whatever it takes to keep play alive. So whether or not that's then launch a deep ball or scramble, he's not really doing that. And they think he's trying to prepare for the NFL and that he's trying to show he can be an NFL pocket passer. So they're just not seeing that part of his game. And then they're seeing that when he's under pressure and the windows get tighter, he is just not as sharp and just, it's not like a panic, but it's just not the same as when he has no pressure and he has time to throw. And we see that like really high completion percentage.
Yeah, I'm totally with you. Like just from my film study this week, I do think he is more comfortable when he's on the move. But to your point, like guys now we're seeing veteran quarterbacks that make moves in the portal. They do so because they want to be developed as NFL players. And so maybe it's a little bit out of his nature and he has to think about not necessarily evading. Now he's really good when he is on the move. And I think it's something that they're going to have to do against Ohio State to unlock the best of Dillon Gabriel. The other thing to your point, though, about him being in the pocket, and this is the big battle because Ohio State's got two defensive tackles, Ty Hamilton, Tyleik Williams, that I think are really, really good players. The interior of the Oregon offensive line had trouble. They had shuffled that lineup trying to figure out who the guys were. Dillon Gabriel's not a big dude. And so if I'm a defensive coordinator and I'm preparing for Oregon, I'm telling my edge rushers that it's a controlled rush. It's not the week to throw your best pass rush move, because we need you to make sure that he cannot escape the pocket. The work is going to be done by forcing the pocket in through the interior. And when you can get into the face of a smaller quarterback, now all of a sudden the sight lines become different. Now he can't really step into the throws, and that can have an effect in the game. So I do think like the quarterback matchup is a big one. To your point, Will Howard is what you came here for, right? And this is the situations you got to be great. And for Dillon Gabriel, it's kind of like the nature versus nurture, like your nature of how you want to play versus what you're being nurtured to do to prepare for the league.
Yeah, and again, he's won these types of games before. That's part of the reason, Oregon wanted him. It was such a coup to get him. So we'll see with this. Before we get off of this game, though, because it's such a fascinating one, again, Ohio State is favored by a couple of points coming in, even though they'll be going 2+ time zones away and playing in a hostile environment at Autzen.